You turn the key, and your car just cranks and cranks for what feels like an eternity before it finally sputters to life. And when you try to accelerate, it hesitates badly. If your diagnostic tool shows a P2543 trouble code, your engine computer is dealing with an intermittent signal from the low-pressure fuel system sensor circuit. In many modern vehicles, especially Audi, Ford, and VW, the fuel system is incredibly complex. You often have a low-pressure fuel pump in the gas tank that feeds fuel up to a high-pressure mechanical pump on the engine. The fuel pressure sensor, usually mounted directly on the fuel rail near the intake manifold, acts as the computer's eyes, constantly measuring the exact fuel pressure. The computer uses this exact voltage reading to perfectly calculate how long to keep the fuel injectors open. An intermittent code means that the voltage signal from this sensor is cutting in and out, or completely dropping off for just a split second, which totally confuses the engine computer and causes those starting and hesitation issues. Because this is an intermittent problem, it can be incredibly frustrating to track down. The absolute first thing you must do is a thorough visual inspection of the wiring harness and the connector at the fuel pressure sensor. Look closely for any wires that have rubbed bare against a metal bracket or any green corrosion inside the connector pins. Even a slightly loose terminal can cause a momentary drop in voltage as the engine vibrates. If the wiring looks pristine, you need to verify the actual mechanical fuel pressure using a manual fluid pressure gauge attached to the fuel rail. If your mechanical gauge shows that the fuel pressure is genuinely dropping out, your problem is a dying fuel pump or a clogged filter, not the sensor itself. However, if the mechanical pressure remains rock solid, you'll need to grab a digital multimeter. With the key on and engine off, check the reference voltage going to the sensor, which should be a steady 5 volts or 12 volts depending on the car. Then, check the signal wire coming back from the sensor. If the power and ground are perfect but the signal voltage randomly drops out, you've found an internally failing fuel pressure sensor that needs to be replaced.